Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia Lott and this is my channel about bullet journaling and goal setting. What is this? Oh my gosh, what is this? Is this the computer that I've had since 2017? Oh my god! And I just wanted to let you know, if this is your first time watching my channel, that my videos are usually about analog paper things such as bullet journaling, but I do use a variety of things to keep me on track. So I have my journal, of course, and then I also have a wall calendar that I keep just above eye level, above my desk, and also just lots and lots of sticky notes. I have sticky notes everywhere. But I am a woman with ADHD, so I do struggle with attention and focus and executive functioning and all of that. And so it does take a village. It takes a lot of maintenance for me to just complete my tasks sometimes. And I do, in addition to the journaling, I do use some form of technology. I'm not just living in a cave somewhere. I wanted to share 3 things that have been working for me, and I wanted to show you how I get the best use out of those 3 services. My first thing that I'm going to show you is something that you probably are already familiar with if you use the internet. It is Google Calendar. So it is free to everyone, but you will just sell your soul to Google. This calendar here, this is my personal calendar. I use Google Calendar more for work purposes because during the workday, I'm already seated in front of my computer and I'm probably trying to distract myself in some way. Anyway, so I'm already looking at my calendar multiple times a day anyway. But when I'm not working, then I really have no reason to look at my calendar. It's just not something that I'm naturally drawn to look at. I have adjusted the notifications to better suit my brain. So with the notifications, the default way that Google Calendar is set up is that they're in the upper right hand corner. You will get the desktop notification and it just slides over from the right hand side, and there may or may not be a sound. And I personally kind of hate that because any kind of notification, if it's popping up in my face when I'm in my flow and I'm working on something else, it's just like having a mosquito flying in your face, and the only thing you want to do is get that thing out of your face. So what I end up doing with the notifications is I click close, and then that thing, whatever it was supposed to be reminding me of, is just lost to me forever. I cannot tell you how many meetings I have missed and events I have missed and people I forgot to call or whatever, just because there was a desktop notification and I was in the middle of doing something else and that notification popped up at the wrong time and I just closed it and it was as though it never existed. So if you are that way as well, I would recommend that you avoid the desktop notifications on your computer and instead, so can you see this blue dot in the corner of this tab here? This little blue dot I find more valuable than a pop-up notification in my face. And I'll tell you why. Because in my workplace as well, we use Slack, and with Slack, they have notifications as well, but theirs are less obnoxious. If someone sends me a message, I hear that. Also in the tab, there's a little red dot that will appear. So I see the red dot, and then my eye, because I have the tabs next to each other usually, my eye immediately goes over to this blue tab, and I say, oh my gosh, there's a blue dot here. Oh, there must be a calendar thing that I may be in danger of missing. So I go ahead and click that. And then here it's saying, hey, there's an event right now. I just made this up for this video. You have this here. So this has been much more helpful to me. It just seems counterintuitive because you would think all the little notifications in my face would be more helpful, but no. So the way to set up your notifications is you go to the little gear here in the corner and you go to settings, Okay, and then you go to notification settings over here, and then by default, if you're on a desktop computer, you will see the desktop notifications, and so you would just switch it to alerts, change the colors, and if you do use notifications, change the sounds regularly, because what'll happen over time is that, at least with me, if I see the same things or I hear the same sounds over and over, I will just start to ignore them and they will lose all meaning. So that is not good if you want them to still serve their purpose, of course. So what you can do to change the colors, and also it's just nice to have colors and everything's all coordinated or whatever. What you can do to change your colors is go to the calendars. You can choose whichever calendar you like to change, and then you click the three dots next to it, and you can select one of these pre-selected colors here, or if you'd like a custom color, you would just click this plus sign here. You have these options here. They have a different color palette. Or if you want to be super fancy, you can come to a website like Coolers, I think that's what it's called, and you can select different color palettes that way as well. You can do that. And then once you find, ooh, I'm gonna select this one. Once you find one that you like, you just copy and paste or copy the code, come back to Google Calendar, and then you want to paste the color code here. Okay, and then that will select that color for you. Do I want to do this? I don't know. Okay, let's try it. Ew, okay, so that's what it looks like. I am definitely changing that back after this video. And also, I just wanted to point out today is Rihanna's birthday. Happy birthday, Rihanna. Yay. Second service online that I wanted to talk to you about that I'm really happy about is called Focusmate. But before I get into that, I just wanted to point out these blue strips on the screen. These are digital stickies. So I love paper stickies. I love digital stickies on my desktop as well. But these are specifically because I wanted to painstakingly cover up any identifying details of any of the other members of this service to protect everyone's privacy. So, yes, Focusmate is the best. So, what it is, it's a video co working platform, and it works through the concept of what is known as body doubling. So, that is simply just working on something in the presence of another person. So, the other person is just kind of there. It's similar to Zoom or yeah, any Google Hangout or any video chat platform that you might use. And you can schedule sessions. So their sessions go between 25, they have 25, 50, or 75 minutes. You just select a block of time. When you show up for the session, you go to this video chat and you will introduce yourself. Usually it's like, hi, my name is Alicia. During this session, I'm going to be journaling or I'm going to be writing or whatever. And then they introduce themselves, they say what they're going to be working on, and then generally you each mute your sound, and that is it. And you just each work on your respective projects for that allotted amount of time. So it's just beautiful. It's just really nice for me to have that extra push to get out of bed in the morning, especially at 5:30 in the morning, just knowing that someone else is waiting for me, especially if that person, you know them, you work with them regularly. There have been so many times at 5:15 when I just want to go back to bed, but I say, "Oh no, such and such is going to be there. I don't want to stand them up or I don't want to cancel whatever." So I go ahead and attend, drag myself out of bed, wipe the crust out of my eyes. This is my morning routine 5 days out of the week. I usually do it on my working days, and then on my days off, I may still do other Focusmate sessions, but probably later in the morning. Some people use it all day and they just get everything done using Focusmate. And it's not just for office related tasks or computer related tasks. Like some people use it for exercise. They even have options here where you can be matched up with someone who is also exercising. Some people use it for household chores. I have used it for, I don't usually, but I have used it for doing laundry. Laundry is like the bane of my existence. I hate it. So yeah, just having someone there while I fold my towels or whatever it's magical. It doesn't sound like it would be that big of a thing, but it really is. If you have something urgent that needs to be done at the last minute, like video editing, I would say that you don't use Focusmate because I kid you not, every time that I've wanted to do something and get it done at the last minute, I end up with a partner who is more on the chatty side of some people just want to talk. And I have had situations where I've had a partner who wanted to talk for like 20 minutes out of the 50 minutes that we were supposed to have, and I'm too polite to cut them off. So yeah, I if I know there's something urgent, I just go ahead and cancel. Because I mean, when you're working at the last minute anyway, do you really even need Focusmate? Like, you have all this crazy adrenaline, you know? So you don't need that. My screen is very distracting to me when I'm trying to write. So I can't turn the screen off because that would turn the camera off as well. So what I do, I leave the screen on, but then I put a little piece of cardboard over the screen so I can't see it, so that I'm not distracted and I can write. It's cheating because in reality, you're supposed to be not watching the other person like a creeper, but they're supposed to be in your line of vision. You know, you're supposed to be just aware of what each other is doing. It's honor system. I hope that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. We have no way of knowing. At the end of the session, you're supposed to do like a recap, and I do say like, oh yes, I did great, or I didn't finish this, or blah blah blah, but they don't know. The last service that I would recommend for someone with ADHD who struggles to get things done is called Boss as a Service. One person who actively checks up on you and is actively invested in what you are doing. I realized that the only time in my life that I was really productive outside of work was when I was in college. You know, I think that having someone who is waiting to see your finished work is just really powerful. That's why we have bosses at work. That's why writers have editors, and I don't know, football players have coaches, things like that. So how it works for me is that I do daily text messages with this person, my boss. You can do text messages, or you can do email, or you can do WhatsApp. And so in the morning for me, I say, hey, I finished my Spanish. I usually start with my Spanish, and then I choose one task, my biggest task from my to-do list, and I say, hey, I'm going to do this thing by 5 o'clock this afternoon. And then I check in with her again in the afternoon. I say, hey, I did this thing. And I have to send some sort of evidence, some sort of photo of what I did. So with Spanish, I send a photo of my notes. With other things, I may send screenshots, or I may send receipts. Sometimes I've done that. If I don't do the things, then she is very gentle about kind of nudging me to stay on track, being more open to asking for help and not being afraid to use any sort of services that are out there. Why not? And no, you don't just have to have ADHD to use these services, but this video is for people with ADHD, of course. Look at me. Look at me. I'm typing so fast. Oh my gosh.